privileged to have a very great man with me here today. He's a man that I strongly admire his creativity in music and in all the projects that he's been doing around the gospel scene. And he goes by the name Ogboi. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Take us to Evans before we got to know you in the music scene. Who was Evans?
Yes, I am born into a family of 6. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. I was born into a Christian family. My dad and my mom Christians, and yeah, just grew up as a child loving God, loving Jesus. Not a strong commitment to God, obviously, but at least brought up in the way of God, and I'm forever grateful for that. As I began to grow up a bit, then I started getting into music through church. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that means you started your own music thing back in Nigeria.
Yes.
So take us a little bit through that. How did it begin, and how was things like with your music back in Nigeria?
Cool. My family moved to Benin City in Nigeria, and I was in the Church of God Mission, where late Archbishop Benson Idahosa, the founder, the great man of God.
Yeah.
So that is where it all started, and one of the branches was where I started. I started as a drummer, actually.
Wow.
I started as a drummer, and I didn't even know what I was going to do next, but I started drumming and singing, teaching the choir, just started growing from, I believe that whatever you do, just do it with all your heart. And so I discovered as I did one excellently well, God will promote me to the next and to the next. And next thing you know, I'm drumming, I'm directing choirs, and next thing I moved to Lagos. I started doing it professionally. I started working in the church.
So when you were directing the choir, it wasn't like you've acquired any musical training.
No.
It's just something that you just
it's a natural talent. I believe that God has graced me with that. Just music is really natural to me. It's my gifting. I have a strong gifting in music, and by the grace of God. So these things just started coming naturally, so really fast. I'm self-taught on drums, self-taught on keyboard.
Wow.
My singing, everything, all Holy Spirit, all inspired.
When people have to pay a lot of money to
go and learn, I didn't.
I once upon a time paid someone to teach me the piano, and then after a month in the lesson, he said, "Oh, I'm moving now."
Oh.
And then when I settle, I'll call you. Then we will continue. And up to date, I've never heard from the person. It's such a blessing for you to have it on free of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, every now and again, obviously, you get mentored, and you look for people who know more. I remember there was a guy, like you said, there was a guy actually who was trying to follow in Lagos, very good drummer. And I wanted him to tell, I'll go, I wasn't really learning anything. He would say, okay, go and do this assignment, you do it, do this paradiddle, do this single strokes, I'll do it, okay, start to score notes. It was not working. So, but everywhere there's knowledge, we try to seek knowledge, but, somehow God has just allowed us to grow. Listening to quality music, I know that's really has helped me over the years. Listening to quality music and staying in the presence, just learning, just being amongst people who are passionate and who are really gifted in what they do as well. It's just helped me to grow, to become who I am today.
Okay, so let's talk about commercial music. Did you do anything commercially in Nigeria?
Yeah, so when I moved back to Lagos on my own, I started to develop a passion for music production, and that is where I decided, I'm gonna produce music. I'm gonna start, because people God will speak through people sometimes. I started to hear people say, why don't you? Because our program, our program tracks, soundtracks, and it will be so clean. Like, why don't you do this music? I would use effects from reverb creative stuff. So I decided to do it. I wanted to go to Berkeley, in America. and I was this big faith without money. So I had this great dream. I'll go to Boston. I ordered the brochure, show my brother.
Enjoy the American dream.
So I had this big dream. And then I applied. They said I had a scholarship program. I applied.
Wow.
And the thing bounced. They said, hey, brother, no, you're not ready for this. So it really broke my heart. It was a man I spoke to in my church, which is why I want to really, I love when people help people.
Yeah.
Your seed, you don't know where it's going to go. I spoke, everybody someone picked interest in me, and he was even the first person who gave me my first keyboard. Little keyboard that I was using to practice at home. And the man said, what do you want to do? I said, I wanted to go to the States. And they didn't give me the admission. Okay, whilst you are here, what can you do in Africa? Go and research and let me know. So I went and did my research. I said, okay, I don't want to go outside of Nigeria if I'm still in Africa. Let me look for the best. There was a studio that the Lagos State government just did. In fact, they brought professionals from abroad to do a remix studio. Was like the best in West Africa at the time. And so I said, why don't I just go there and start doing training? And they were doing a program for upcoming. So I started there. Do you know that is where I started? In fact, from there, it was just supposed to be a small training. I started to produce artists. I saved so much money. I opened my, set up my own setup at home, had my own setup at home. I started recording my debut album. That's why I recorded my full debut album.
So you did the recording and everything by yourself?
Everything. I produced the album myself because I was already doing stuff as in I called all my friends, came to the studio, we recorded live drums. I did the live drums, bass, all this thing. We're already doing it then. Wow. We had analog because the studio is very good. Big analog desk. Analog mix and everything. Some of them were digitally mixed, and everything came out and we launched the album. So that's where I started to do music, professionally. Back in Nigeria.
So how did that? What was was there a title to the album?
Yeah, it was titled Miracle. I released that in 2007, my first album.
And how did it do?
The response, it was good. But we were speaking earlier about promotion of music and marketing. I'm very passionate about music marketing, and promotion, because I'm in the music business. And we didn't know much then. So what we had was just, sometimes you feel you just do music and release it and expect that it will sell 1 million copies without doing the work, without putting it out there for people to know that something is out. So that's how I was just there, you released it, and in my church, just waiting for somehow the water will be stirred. God will just do it. But obviously it takes time. So I was there, once in a while when I'm called up for events, I even literally asked them, how'd you get my number?
So the music was spreading.
It was spreading somehow. I remember Pastor Wale Adenuga in Lagos said, he heard my music, humble man of God. And that's another thing. People who hear things that bless them and they say, let's encourage this. He called me. He used to do this workshop where different choirs will come in represented. Where he would, even my church, we used to send, back in Lagos, we used to send people like 7 representatives from the choir and stuff. So everybody, he added my CD to the pack that he gave them. So the music just went into churches. People, decided to rehearse Anamneka Jesus. It was a song that just caught fire all around Nigeria, everywhere. I had a friend who was also doing a promotional thing. What's his name? The Hype Nigeria. So he had this compilation CD he would do of top gospel. So he put one of my tracks on there, so that also helped to push it a bit more.
So you had people around the corner.
Yeah, just little people here and there. So
let's talk about that record. What inspired the writing?
The writing,
because you spoke of your passion for music production, but it's not everybody that has the gift of writing songs. So what brought about that and what inspired it?
My writing. There are people who are really, really gifted in writing. As a matter of fact, I don't think I really write that much. For me, I kind of hear music. And most of the songs that's on that album, I heard them. I just received them. 1 or 2 are known songs. They're songs that my dad used to sing growing up. They're folk songs from my native dialect. So 1 or 2 are, but some I wrote. I remember Taste and See, a song I wrote from scratch. Fight in the Spirit, a song a friend wrote. I wrote a verse for. So I just started to gather the material, but at the end of the day, some of them are worship songs that are in public domain. That's pop general songs that I just put together. But I think I wrote about 40% from scratch. But because I'm a producer, I'm an arranger, I'm very passionate about, I'm telling you, I can rearrange the national anthem. I won't have the national anthem, I've rearranged it, I'll put it on YouTube, it's there. I literally, somebody just wrote me from the States now.
You just we just want to be creative with everything.
You just want to be creative because as a musician, God has given you the sounds. You hear something and you hear a different approach, and so I used that to approach the album, and it really came out well, and that really went really far.
That's great. That's
Really
great
far.
to hear and to learn. So you transitioned to Europe.
Yes.
Tell us how that also happened, because you wanted to go to the States.
Yes.
It didn't happen.
Yes.
You did something back home, and then did the first record did anything to bring you here?
Thank you so much for that question. Fantastic. So you know about how I wanted to go to the States, it didn't work. So the step to do something temporarily when I was in Lagos led to that album. But little did I know that God was using that to set up something big. But I didn't allow the dream to die of me studying abroad. I was still researching, so I just all of a sudden I just said London. And I fell in love with this school, SAE. So I said SAE is worldwide. But I said SAE London. So for some reason, I just SAE London. I'm going to go to London. SAE London. I said, hey everybody, I'm going to London. I'm serious. I told my friends when I'm in London. You remember when I moved to London, I will be living in London. I just knew I was going to study in London. So SAE London. I started to research. Applied for the brochure as well. They sent it to me. At the time, they didn't have their sponsorship license for international students, but I just kept the dream alive. But you know about the appointed time. There was this time where my family had some money that God provided, and they gave me a sum. I said, this man, let's support your music. So they gave me a sum. It wasn't a lot, so I thought, let me shoot a music video. So I was going around town looking for someone to shoot a video for me, because still then I still hadn't promoted the album well. This was 2011. So this was 4 years after. I still hadn't promoted the album well. About 3 years after. So I was going around and God spoke to me clearly. He said, SAE. What about SAE? And I was like, wow. So I went straight to the cafe, and I found that they had even sent emails to the international students. Good news, guys. We've gotten our license. Wow, really? So I emailed them really. I said, what do you need me to send? They said, send us. Is that all? I sent it. The next day I got an email, you have been admitted. I said, They said, if you pay your registration fee, that is it. The money I had was my registration fee. So I paid it. And immediately they say you have been admitted.
So a miracle was happening out of the miracle.
I'm telling you. So immediately that happened, I said, you know what, fine, fantastic. I have my admission. All I needed now was my tuition fee, and the rest of it. And God provided that miraculously. In fact, the last penny, everything was done miraculously. And that's how I came to the UK. It was because of my school. I came in to study. It was when I came in to study that I started working with the church that, we'll still talk about, Living Faith Connections, and all the things started to happen. And when I finished, they employed me.
So what did you study?
I studied music production and engineering. Yeah, music production and engineering.
So it was all along, it's just the music.
Yes, yeah, no. So, we haven't spoken about when I decided to do music full time.
Okay.
That was, so my dad always wanted me to be an accountant. He used to call me accountant. Two things he used to call me: orator, accountant. I said, I don't know why he's calling me this, but somehow.
Maybe they needed somebody to count.
Accountant. And I said, one of these days, when I began to feel the stare, I read a book by Miles Monroe that changed my life. My story is so unique. I was in church when God said, go to the bookstop, go to the bookstand, and I said, buy this book. I'm telling you, I saw the book. At that time, my income was so low, I couldn't even afford the book. It was about 1,400, about over 1,000 naira. And I couldn't afford it. My salary was about maybe 11,000, 12,000 naira. So that's over 10% of my salary. He said, buy this book. I bought the book, kept the book, I didn't even remember. One day he said, that book you bought, go and bring it out. I brought it, I started reading this book, my God. God was speaking to me through that book. Miles Monroe was writing in that book about your call. He was speaking, it was the book's titled Pursuit of Purpose. And in that book, he was talking about how everything you are is an indication of who you are. It's an indication of why God created you. If you see a bird, you already know they're meant to fly because they are designed for it. So could it be that your talents, your skills are a pointer to your purpose, to what you need to do. So whilst you are thinking, what do I need to do in life? You already know it.
Yeah.
So I said, could it be that God wants me to do music full time? Could it be that this is what I need to do? Could it be that I don't need to go the general path of going to go and study something that I'm not passionate about and going to get a job and just get married, have 2 houses and 1 car, and that's it? Could it be this is what God wants to use me in the music sector, in the music industry? And that's it. I started to pray. I had a 3-day fast. I said, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, I'm going to take this step. It was scary. No Nigeria now. In Nigeria, music is not all that. I'm not even going to tell my parents I'm going to do full time. So I prayed and I had the clarity and the faith. I said, I'm going to go to where my dad. And guess what? I told my dad and I was shocked. This is what my dad said. He said, do it, but do it professionally. In fact, he said, do it abroad. Now that's strange because I never even told him I was going to go abroad. So guess what? Now he's even going to be with the Lord. So thinking about that, even before I never knew he was going to go. I shared my heart desire. He had said, you know what, do this. Do it professionally. Do it abroad. And I didn't even share that with him. And I said, wow, I was even planning to go abroad. So here am I. I'm now here in the UK and, doing all these things I'm doing. And how did I know that it was all going to come together? I don't know. I just allowed God to take it a step at a time.
So let's talk about now that you are in the UK.
Yeah.
Some of the projects you've done. I know you produce other people.
Yeah.
By God's grace, you produce even your wife.
Yeah.
And, all that. But before we get to that, we'll take a quick break, and then when we get back, we would continue with the man with all the creative ideas right here on the show. My name is Benjamin, and you are watching 30 Minutes with Benjamin.
Clap your hands like this. Come on. Sopranos.
Children of God, will you shout hallelujah? Shout hallelujah to the Lord 15 times.
Come on.
Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Clap your hands, y'all. Clap your hands, y'all. Come on. Oh, my people, clap your hands. Oh, my people, clap your hands. Everybody, clap your hands. Satan has no clue in this one. Come on.
Children of God,
What?
children of God, will you shout hallelujah? Shout hallelujah to the Lord.
1, 2, 3. Come on.
Hallelujah,
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on. Clap your hands, y'all. Messiah.
Messiah is the King of Kings. Messiah is the Lord of Lords. Messiah is the King of Kings. Messiah is the Lord of Lords.
Hallelujah. Lord, we give you all the glory.
Ogboi, the man behind all the great songs that you've been hearing. Okay, sir. So let's talk about your records. After Miracle,
Yes.
tell us some of the records you've done since you've come to the UK.
Yeah, so once I came to the UK, one of the first albums we did, I produce music, so I did an EP for my wife, Arista, boy, who is doing great things now. She just launched her debut album as well. But just after that, we did an album for the choir. So I've always been passionate about doing a choir album, but working with my pastor, he was the first pastor that caught the vision.
Yeah.
And was ready to invest. And my pastor is a big time investor in music. And he was ready to do it well, when you say properly. And I was really excited. Funds were put down. We started recording. I was in school then, so we started the project in school. Then I finished, did a lot of the recordings. I did some post-production in Nigeria. I traveled back to Nigeria, did some vocal post-production, came back here. I went to the Netherlands to do mixing and mastering. I did some overdubs for lead vocals and all that. Put this album together, came back, and boom, solid album, 10-track album, Beyond the Norm album. Most of the songs I wrote.
I think I was there for the launch.
You were?
Yeah.
Wow, wow. Beyond the Norm album.
I remember that. I think it's about 2-3 years ago.
2013.
Yeah.
It was 2013. So we launched that album, and fantastic results. We got AGMA Awards, MOBO Awards.
So that also shoot you into the whole industry thing.
It did. It really did. In fact, I'll be honest. When I was doing the album, I was shocked when my pastor called me to say that, we're going to put your name on the album. It's going to be featuring Ogboi. I never thought that was going to happen. I was just doing, that's another thing when you're doing something from your heart. I was just doing the whole music, like, this thing has to be excellent. Guess what? I had recorded my album. The album I released in 2014, I had recorded, it was in my hard drive. I left that to focus on this. And I did this on my head, and the pastor called me just after I came back from the UK, from the Netherlands, and said, we're going to feature you on this album. We're going to, say it's, featuring Ogboi. I was shocked. And, when that went out, it really did a lot to push us out. BBC Songs of Praise came, where choir, somebody said we should go. I don't really like competitions. The pastor said, you guys should go. It's something, just go and sing about the name of Jesus, and let's go and push the gospel, and we went. And in fact, the response, the BBC team were calling us, that the kind of emails they were getting, we were getting testimonies on the website. People were feeling the presence of God while we were ministering. It was incredible. It was just after that we won the Mobile. We didn't win that. I even told my choir when we're going, we're not going there to win.
So it shoots you into the whole award
It just shoots us into
AGMA, MOBO. MOBO is also big.
Premier Gospel, everything, and and it was humbling when things started to happen. Just after that, so I then had time, did my own album, released it in 2014. This was just as you asked how many albums. So we had done Beyond the Norm album 2013, and then I released mine 2014, Songs from My Heart. I'm just about to record another one now. And
so let's talk about some of the awards you won. You mentioned AGMA, you mentioned MOBO. Which years were these?
AGMA must have been the year of a release, I think, yeah. But MOBO was in 2014. Yeah, MOBO was in 2014. And that really just humbled us and just blew our minds. Yeah.
So you produce other people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cost of production. You produce yourself, and you also have the passion of bringing people out there to also bless the body of Christ with whatever God has blessed them with. How do you do it?
Well, big question. I don't know if you can take all that, take that within this time. Music production is wide. It's really big. It's like there's really no cost to it. I tell people, when people call me and say they want to do this, you were speaking about the man of God earlier, and how he invests, and here people who spend £100,000 on an album, 200 and all that. It's all really about your budget. So sometimes people call me and say, this is my budget. If it's something I can do, I will help. But sometimes when it's not good enough, I'll say, I think you need to upgrade it. There are a lot of producers out there as well who will do music and, who say, all that. But this is what I studied professionally, and this is what I do. I decided to have an average cost where it's not too expensive, but at least it can pay my bills for now. I don't want to buy a Ferrari or anything yet. So people still struggle, but something decent, something that, can help us produce something that is quality, something that's excellent, which I believe we really need, within the body. People just so there's really no cost, as it were, this fixed amount. It's always about the vision of the artist. Where are you trying to go? What kind of songs do you have? What kind of sound are you looking to get? What do you want? Is this a global thing for you, or is this just something for your church, or something you just want your community to be blessed by? All these things we put into consideration, but everything we do, that I do, I make sure it's excellent, and that's why, that's why we put in that.
So how many people have you been able to put out there?
They're quite a lot. I mean, over 20 artists that we've worked with so far. Single-handedly, by the grace of God, over 20 artists that we're able to. In fact, I'm working on a concert right now we're doing in November. I'll speak to you about it as well. Like, we need your support and how we can come and do it. The Lord put a vision in my heart this year to begin to promote. So before I just produce and that's it. But now I'm now wanting to help people to promote. Because promotion is all about just making it available to a bigger audience. Instead of it just being on your timeline on Facebook and nobody really know. Maybe even if you have 5,000 followers, how many people are really, take the time to, and then we all know Facebook, obviously, somehow, I don't know if you know, but not all your 5,000 see your stuff until you promote and all that. So there's something happening there as well. But not even everybody's on social media. So we want to go live. Put people on stage, Put people on stage and organize concert where people can come out, see you, meet you, buy your product, have a one-to-one, get your social media handle and stuff. So this great idea came around how we're putting something together. We'll launch it. We'll launch the initiative in August at my concert, and the concert will be in November. It's just a collective of, we have about 13 artists that I worked with.
Bringing all of them on one stage.
Yeah, just on one stage, have a big day. Everybody one song, go live recording it, video, audio, boom, boom. But even doing a compilation CD of everybody's song is how will be out at my concert as well.
This is huge. This is huge. And then you are doing all the work. And I to be honest, I really admire what you've been doing.
Bless God.
I've been admiring from behind.
Bless God. Bless God.
It's great having you here today
to
tell us about all these things. I think these are some of the things that people out there needs to hear. And it also put us in a position where the church has to see how single-handedly we are doing our best to promote the kingdom. And to me, I strongly believe that we would also need their help in doing, like you spoke of the pastor, and I'm sure people just want worship leaders to be stuck in the church, to be leading worship or praise only on Sundays or any weekly activity. But what you and I, for instance, what we do, commercial music, trying to reach out to other people, because you may be probably in this church A, and then you've been doing music, and somebody in church B might not know what you do, or might not hear, because God has blessed you with something. It's supposed to be for the body of Christ, not for a particular local assembly. So what we do, and with what you've done, God really bless you for doing that. And I pray that whoever is watching this will also put themselves in the position, if they can, to also support and contact people like you, and wherever the right investment needs to be made, they make that investment. So greatly in November, I will be there personally to come and support whatever it is that is happening.
Amen.
And then I'm sure that by the grace of God, we will take the kingdom to.
By the grace of God, by the grace of God, by the grace of God.
Take it this way. So it's been wonderful, and it's been nice.
It's been great. It's been great.
And, I'm sure we will have you again. As God keep on blessing you, and as God keep pushing you out there to bless people out there, I'm sure there will be a lot of projects that will also bring you back here again for us to talk about. So thank you very much.
Thank you for
this time.
Thank you for having me. Such a great one.
So you've been watching 30 Minutes with Benjamin, and my guest on the show today was Ogboi, a man you heard from him who has been doing all these great works. And go on YouTube, search his name, Ogboi, and then trust me, you would surely be blessed by his music and his ministry. Thank you for watching, and see you the next time.